Okay, so we are live now, and as always, I'm gonna check if we're actually live and then share on social media. So let me quickly check. Okay, it sounds like we're live now. Let me put on some music just to check if you can actually hear it. Okay, okay. It appears that you can't hear it, but it's okay because that's the whole point. Because I'm putting some, some copyrighted music, so don't want you to, I don't want YouTube, silencing the stream just because of some background music. And we are live. We are live, good to go, and everything seems okay. So today, developing our own MCP host. Okay, so we are live. Yes, we are live. Just gonna put the chat over here because you never know. Maybe we have new viewers for today. We never know. And today, developing MCP context, and as you can see in the description of the video, we're gonna be developing our host in TypeScript probably, because we have, it's the quickest language to build with that has types. Because we could use Python, but again, not gonna get into discussion of it. But I love statically typed languages, and although TypeScript is not it's not an action statically typed language, it at least has a linter, which is like the TypeScript LSP. So uh, I'm going to close this because I don't know what is this. Don't even remember what is this. Anthropic. I do remember now what is this. Okay, so okay. Mm, this is, I don't know what is this. I'm closing this. I do remember what this is. I think this was like, I do now remember what is this. MCP agent was some kind of, okay, yes, we needed to take a look on this. Oh, oh, uh, okay, this is, mm, okay, yes, so we have GPT, a repository, the repo for MCP, and that's it. Okay, so we need to learn how to create an MCP host and therefore also an MCP client if it's not already created. Okay, so we need to investigate if okay, first let's do some quick research using GPT and let's tell them what we're gonna do, what we want to do, and what resources are available. So I want to build an MCP host, but okay, let me kill my notifications daemon so we don't get annoyed. Okay. Uh, okay, and MINA. Okay, so let's tell. Okay, we want to build a bot. uh, don't want to implement an MCP client from scratch. Uh, what libraries can help me? And we're giving it the search option, so it uses, so it uses. Okay, so it says if I'm aiming to build a protocol host and not develop the MCP client from scratch, several robust libraries and SDKs. Okay. What? Wait. Okay, so I can create clients with the SDKs. I thought you could only create like actual servers with it. That's even better because we're getting first party help from them. Not help, but support from the official SDK. Help from them. Don't like this one. Let me skip it. Skip this one also. Okay. Let me skip uh maybe till this one. Okay. Okay, so we could use the official SDKs. Okay. What are the what languages are available for in the are not available but supported by MCP's official SDKs. Okay, so so we have Python with something called MCP use, which is a unified client library designed for straightforward and consistent MCP. Okay, or the official Python SDK, which implements the full MCP specification, enabling the creation of both clients and servers. It supports standard transports like standard I/O and SSE, which is server-side events by via HTTP, handling MCP messages, analyzing. Okay, so okay, full end-to-end MCP implementation. So for TypeScript or Node.js, you have OpenMCP client, which is provided by CompiloKit. Okay. Is this for like, okay, front end? So it's like a web thingy, I'm guessing, because, okay. Uh, so I don't know what is this. It doesn't explain what is this. Let me read about this. Uh, yeah, not doing this. Okay, as of May 2025, which is today's May, okay. MCP offers some SDKs in several programming languages. So yes, clients and servers, TS, okay, Java, okay, okay. We aren't building in Java, although we could build something in Java, Kotlin, or C Sharp, because I do know how to use at least Java. And we aren't going to use it. Interesting that you already have an SDK available in Rust. If or when we get to build like the final production version, will probably be migrating to something more performant, um, probably Rust or even Swift, as I can see it. But again, to develop in Swift, I'm 99% sure you need an I and like a Mac or some kind of Apple OS. And we could hack our way and try to, host some kind of virtual machine or virtualized environment with Mac or Apple because it's possible. I've seen it. But why would we complicate ourselves? Let's just compile something Rust. Okay, so I guess we're gonna be using the official SDKs because why not? Again, there are already created clients. There are different clients already created, but we aren't gonna be using the created clients because the example of clients they're like already not only clients but client applications, most of them. There is a couple, not clients directly, but let's say libraries or but the idea is to actually learn and about the MCP protocol itself and make the most out of it without any abstractions, in between any abstraction layer that could potentially, like bother or not bother, but get a bit messy, and we're not trying to get into an unnecessary mess. So let's quick start on client MCP. What is this? MCP. What is this? I don't know what is this. So this is a Python project, MCP agent, compose a framework to build agents using them. Okay. Mm, Project Doctomo. What? I've never seen this kind of package management on a Python project. Interesting. Okay, this is really interesting. Didn't know you had this in Python. I guess well, it's not an official thing. I'm guessing some kind of third party, you know, people that you can integrate MCP agent apps into MCP clients like Cloud. So MCP agent apps, meaning apps created with, okay, ignoring this because we don't need that. Okay, so we don't want extra abstractions first, and second, Python. And is if you've been hearing that or building with me MINA for enough time, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of Python. So I'm gonna close this and continue our hacking on an MCP client or host or both, probably both. Okay, okay. So for client developers, first of all, Node because we are not using Python and probably not the verbosity of Java, Kotlin, or C Sharp, especially Java and Kotlin. One thing out of topic completely, but one thing I really really dislike about Java and C Sharp that Go does actually pretty good is its concurrency model. Having the coroutines abstraction and all this handling of concurrency, it's way better, like 100%, like 100 times better than the typical creation of threads on Java. Like creating threads and managing your thread pool. Like if you're doing concurrency in Java, handling logs and all of this, it's not a nightmare, but it's not the best way to model concurrency. I know Java is old, but we've had time. Java has existed for like 30, not 30, yeah, like since the 90s, 95, I think. So like 20, 10, 20 years, I don't know, probably more than 20 years, because I don't remember when it was created exactly. But yeah, you had enough time to improve your currency system. And yes, I know people don't usually want to break stuff, implementing new ways and new APIs and new interfaces to do things. But, you know, it's tough to work with threading in Java. Okay, so get started building your own client. Okay, yeah, okay, so get started building your own client can integrate with all MCP servers. Instead, you learn how to build LLM-powered chatbot client that connects to MCP servers. It helps to have gone through the server quick start that guides you through basic of building a server first. Do we read the server? I think we have already read this, right? Oh no, we haven't. We haven't read this. Let me give it a try. Not an actual try, because I see that you need to have like Cloud Desktop installed, and we do not have enough, not enough, but we don't have the operating system for it, because you need officially, not Python. I was gonna say Python, but um, you need officially Windows, and we are not Windows users, so no Windows and no Cloud Desktop for us. Now let's continue reading this quickly. It says for server developers. I'm just gonna skim through this quickly because I'm not that interested on it. So yeah, just a quick skim to get to know why, or because it recommended to here in the first, the second paragraph, it recommends to have already read this quick start. And that gets us to the basics of building our first server. So, get started building your own server for to using the Cloud for desktop and other clients. In this tutorial, you'll build a simple MCP weather server and connect it to a host. Use Cloud for desktop. We'll start with basic setup and then progress for more complex use cases. Okay, so what we're building. So what we'll be building. Many LLMs do not concurrently have the ability. Concurrently. Did you just say? Did you just hear what I just said? Concurrently. It says many LLMs do not currently have the ability to fetch the forecast and severe weather alerts. Severe. Okay, let's use MCP to solve that. Okay, we'll build a server that exposes two tools: get alerts and get forecast. Then we'll connect the server to an MCP host, in this case Cloud for desktop. Okay, okay. It seems that if I never used, Cloud desktop, but it seems that this response or this square box on the more white color or shadow, it's like the response from the LLM, which it seems to get some data from somewhere, because says view result from get weather from weather local. I'm guessing weather local is the local MCP server. Servers can connect to any client we've chosen Cloud for desktop here for simplicity, but we also have guides for building our own client as well. as well as a list of clients here. We do not need a list of clients, although I opened the window. It says why Cloud4 doesn't and not Cloud AI? Because servers are locally run, okay? MCP currently only support desktop hosts. Remote hosts are in active development. We do not need remote hosts because not. Core MCP concepts. Okay, so let me check something. I'm not showing you what I'm checking, but it will only take a couple minutes. Okay. 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 Now I know are still not seeing, but I really need to check something. Uh, 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 okay. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Okay. Phew, okay. Uh, okay. Okay, we're all done. We're all done and we can continue our development. Core MCP concepts. Mm, okay. Okay, so MCP servers can provide three main types of capabilities. Okay, we already know about this. Aren't we reading? Okay. Let's start with building something. You can find complete code when building here. Okay, so they give us the MCP server. Okay, perfect. Okay, so the quick start, some of you have familiarity with TypeScript and LLMs like Claude. System requirements for TypeScript, make sure you have the latest version of Node. We have both Node and NPM. Yes, we do. So you create things, you get the SDK from and you install Node and TypeScript. Okay, then you create a file, create an index file on the source thingy, update the package JSON and type module and a build script. What files build? What is this? Update your package JSON to add type module. Okay. And a build script. And the build script is okay. The TSC and change the permissions to build index and then run the thingy. Create tsconfig to JSON in the root of your project. Get this, and then you build your server, which it's okay. It imports MCP server and standard IO transports. Okay. So the server defines a couple, constants or consts. Create server instance, which is a class instance from MCP server. You pass the name, the version, capability, resource, and tools. You create a couple of helper functions to query and format the data from the National Weather Service API. Okay, so make not something request. I'm gonna read it, and from format alert, not gonna read it also. Then forecast period. Okay. Implement tool execution. Okay, so you register weather tools by server.tool. You call server.tool, get alerts, description. I don't remember what's the third parameter. I'm guessing it's like the actual parameters for the tool. You get state, two-letter state code. Okay, makes sense. And asynchronous, and then after that, it's the actual tool which gets the state. Okay, you get the state dot until you make it uppercase. You get the URL for something. You get the data, and if you get the data, you return some content, and that's it. If not, if you didn't get the data, then you get features. Okay, if you didn't get the data, you pass that you failed something. If you got the data, then you get the features. You check if it has features. If it doesn't, you return some kind of error. Okay, okay. If you get the features, you map over the features format and you map each feature, which alert, active alerts for when you return the thingy. Okay, so oof, that makes sense. Okay, so you define a couple tools. I want to see how this looks in actual source code, but as of now, I think I understand at least what I need. So the sync function transport server dot. Okay, okay. So the main function, it creates a transport. It creates a server. It connects the server uh, to the transport layer, and it errors whether no it logs on the to standard error whether MCP running on standard IO. Okay, then you call main and you handle the error for main. Interesting how we're using instead of async functions, this type of promises or promise-based thingies. Make sure npm builds to build your server. This is very important step. Okay, okay. Mm, then you test by first make sure you clone desktop thingy. We don't do this because we are don't even have cloud. Okay. Okay, so I didn't know this. I didn't know that to to have your to configure a server you needed to modify some files. So this is not that, configuring servers isn't something that's like for for end users without knowledge, more for what you call more technical people, but not developers. Uh, Maybe like citizen developers, what people call citizen developers. I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know it. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense, but I would make if I were like the Cloud team or the Anthropic team, I would make it more user friendly, because most people don't even know how to, modify configuration files. But again, it makes sense because the tool Cloud Desktop isn't for actual developer. It's more for uh, like citizen developers. Let's call them. Uh, okay, so okay, so what? Okay, I think we're done. Okay, okay, it wasn't that complicated. Okay, so yeah, although it was boring to read this thingy, we can now try to implement our client or a host. So just to read the conclusions here. So the client sends their question to Claude. The Claude analyzes the available tools and decides which ones to use. Client executes the chosen tools through the MCP server. The results are sent back to Claude. Claude formulates an NLP response, and the response is displayed to you. Okay, boring. Let's skip to the actual create. Oh, wait, I wanted to check this. I wanted to check the source code for this thingy, cause okay, so the server. Okay, so you create the instance here. Okay, so the creation of tools. It's okay, be a function method calling, but it's done like on the outside on let's say the static, what we call the static. I don't know how do you classify this in TypeScript, but like the static, it would be like the static memory on C, which I have really mapped in my head. How C works with things, not how JavaScript works with things. But yes, it's not on the stack. It's more on the static memory. Uh, yeah. pretty simple and straightforward, nothing to get worried about. Okay, okay, now, okay. So I guess we can actually start. So we need Node.js 17. I do not remember what version of Node we have. So let me check our version. We have version 22. We're all right. Then we have the latest version of npm, uh, which is we have the 10. I'm guessing we do have it. Not going to install it again. And we need some Anthropic API keys just for a quick start development. We are gonna do we are gonna use Anthropic, because simplest way to set up right now, and we want to quickly set up this. So Claude or Anthropic API keys. Get an API key. Uh, okay. I don't remember if I even have an account for Claude. Okay. So I need to set up my computer first. Because I don't want to mess this repo here. I'm gonna create a new thingy. So let me create a new repo for this. So not a new repo, but a new GitHub, a good new Git repository. cd mcp. Okay, so we create the thingy. Okay, okay. So I'm gonna move this to my left so I don't have to change workspaces. So I create MCP client TS, then I cd into this, then I in npm init my thingy, and yes, 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 yes. Okay. Then I can install Anthropic. Okay, so I don't really need to install Anthropic AI. Okay, we're gonna be using Anthropic just for this thingy. So okay, and then after that we could have installed, okay, then we install TypeScript and Node, and then okay, it's okay. We create source files. Okay, so I'm gonna create source touch and v into source. I'm gonna create index.ts. This is gonna be our entry point in theory. So uh, let me just okay. So I can in theory start writing here some thingies. But guess what? We are. Let me go into package.json, and as you can see I just jumped from it using what do I use? I don't even remember what is this plugin, but it's some kind of Neobeam plugin. I think it was Fuzzy Finder Telescope. Was it Telescope? I think it was Telescope. Anyways, I'm gonna create a script called build. Okay, I wasn't meant to do that. I'm gonna create the build script, cause it's what we have, not what we have, but what we need. And we're gonna create this, and what it's gonna basically compile with TSE and chmod, giving it enough permissions to execute build slash index.js. Okay, now I can create my tsconfig on my root tsconfig.ts, not the JSON, tsconfig.json, and then I can simply paste this. Okay, and include everything over, can I include like this, like everything under index? Is that like valid? I don't know. Let me check this out. And let me just poof. I'm gonna open another window, yes, to build things, because I'm going to, okay, and index.ts, and let's just console log something here to test that everything works. It works. And let me build this by npm run build. It says no inputs found in specified include paths where. Okay, maybe I should have maybe I should have specified something else. Package.json and not tsconfig.json, and not this, but source, and maybe this. Is that valid? Nope. Okay, now that should be valid. Okay. Cannot access no such file or directory. What do you mean? Let's build. Okay, okay, okay. Uh, okay, okay. I'm not used to creating. I'm not used to creating TypeScript things from scratch. So a little bit lost. Nowadays with frameworks, you don't really need to even know how to build stuff. Index.js. Why? I think I didn't save this. Okay, now it's saved. So in theory, what? So v build. Okay, rm build source. And let me just, okay. And why can't I run build index.js? Okay, so visual. Okay, okay, this is weird. This is weird. Tsconfig. So no, I should be watching the package.json. Okay, I do what I do need is an npm run. Okay, so I need an npm run, and I'm simply going to run build index.js. I could I could have like a build and run thingy. No, not really. I could, but I won't. I think that now if I have like npm run, uh, does it make sense? Run dev. I'm gonna call it dev just 'cause it's easy, you know. Npm run dev. What? I didn't save this. Okay, let's. Okay, yes, makes sense. Okay, so I could just npm run dev. Okay, I just, you know, okay, okay, okay. We're good to go. And we're good to go. Okay, so setting up our API key. Yes, we need to set up our API key. Why? Because we are going to be using Claude AI just for this quick start guide, but I'm not sure how to set up Claude since I've never set up Claude. I've never used Claude actually, so let me just move this to my right so you don't see, so we don't get a chance of exposing any API key account, no privacy, no billing, cloud code. I don't see where to get our API key. Oh, okay, so we need to go to the console. Anthropic. What is this? Okay, let me log in and check this out because this is new to me. Never used Claude. Individual, yes. Page not found. What is this? Uh, okay, you know. Oof, oof. Mm, let me just. Should I ask Claude directly? Should I ask it like, how do I get an API key to use Claude as a developer? Okay, so I don't like this loading, thingy. It makes me feel weird. Uh, okay, it seems that I need to access this console. Uh, okay, I'm not gonna show this on stream because I don't want to expose anything. But I have to go to the thingy, complete the registration for a developer account. Then where do I get my thingy? Expand working API keys, create key, and default, secret, key, add, copy key. I create a key. Now I can't show you this key because uh, I shouldn't. But let me just what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to echo something. Okay, I'm gonna directly copy this because it's easier. I'm gonna create my env file, but I'm not gonna show you this because I just don't want to expose anything. But I'm going to, okay, Okay, cat.env. Okay, so in theory, I already have my .env thing where and I'm going to I didn't even initialize a Git repo. What a what a mess, you know. Let me get in it and let me just throw my .env into my repo, and then we should be good to go. So creating the client. Now, one thing that I always do is that I never actually copy paste from quick starts or tutorials because uh, the thing with copying from quick start and tutorials is that you don't really you just copy paste things and you don't get to you don't usually read stuff, and when you read stuff or when you write stuff, it's when you actually like understand stuff. I have this way of learning by doing most times. So although I have this code here, I'm going to write it because I'm sure I'm gonna understand better if I write it myself. Although I have it on my right and I could easily copy paste it. It just makes me feel more like learning, I guess. So yeah. Uh, so let us jump to our source index.ts. We're gonna delete this and we're gonna dot env. We're gonna get our config from dot env. Uh, okay, dot env config. Then in theory, this calls the thing to get what does it do? Loads the m file contents into process by default. If the m is present key, it's smartly attempt to load into something called okay. It loads thingies. Then I get the Anthropic key, Anthropic API key, and I assign it to I assign process.env dot Anthropic API key. That's how we call it, right? I guess. Don't know. Then if you don't have this Anthropic API key, I still don't like. I'm really accustomed to writing Golang, so I'm not still not not accustomed but comfortable writing parentheses just to on if statements and for loops. It makes me feel a little bit weird. Uh, now Anthropic key set. Uh, pow pow pow. Okay. By the way, I don't know if I have you know the three-seater thingy for TypeScript. TypeScript. Do I have it? Okay, I do have it. Okay. And am I running my my am I running T yes I am running I am running my TypeScript server. So yeah, everything looks okay. Now I have to create an MCP client class. I don't know why. Okay, I didn't know this. You have to create it. Okay, well, I don't have to, but this tutorial instructs me to. So I'm gonna happily create MCP client class with some fields, starting with field named uh, MCP, which is of type client, which I'm going to import from the MCP or Model Context Protocol package SDK module. Then I'm going to, how do I ts ignore? This is how you silence things with, I don't remember. Okay, so you get this, then you use Anthropic thingy, private, and so, I'm still not accustomed also to long names. But again, as I always write, uh, you know, as I always am writing this Go, you get accustomed to never writing like the full word. So instead of Anthropic, I will have, you know, written like anth or something like that. But I don't mind this change of things, then it creates a transport. This is very classy. Like very OP. I don't like writing. Maybe not like, but I'm haven't written a lot of or tons of LSP in a while. I've been writing a lot of procedural code. Um, yeah, it feels weird uh, writing, Anthropic SDK. Where does Anthropic AI SDK, okay, tool come from here? Okay, it feels weird writing lots of like OOP, but yeah, okay. Yeah, this construction thingy, where I define this dot anthropic so that it's then a new anthropic with the key as API key as anthropic API key, and that's it. And then this dot MCP equals a new client which comes from again the Malcolm protocol SDK, and then it passes a new client with, and it just creates like a client, and okay, with a name and a version. Okay, so this receives a name which we're naming here MCP client CLI, and version, we're getting 1.0. I wonder if it would be a good idea to write this OOP style of things. So server connection management. Next, we'll implement the method to connect to an MCP server. Okay, so maybe double thinking about it, I am going to copy paste things because we don't want to waste time on, not waste time, but invest time on this if we aren't gonna be, you know, uh, developing this actually. So yeah. So let's read this thingy. It says, by the way, I don't know why I get like this four, like tab spacing. I don't care, but it looks weird. It looks weird because it's TypeScript. If it was Go, I would be okay with it. But TypeScript with four space tabs or eight space tabs, I believe, feels weird. So the connection to server script, get the script path and everything. It's a try catch. You determine if it's a JS or a Python script. If it's none, you throw an error. If it's okay, what is this? You get a command. If it's from a Python, you check if the platform is Win32, and then if you use Python, if not, you use Python 3. If it's not a Python, you get the exec path from the current process. So then you get this, the transport. Okay, so basically you run the command. Okay, this is weird. and you give the args. Okay, you basically connect to you basically take the MCP thingy, which I don't, which is okay. You take the actual client and you connect it to the transport layer. Then these MCP does lists. Then you list the tools and you map each tool to a tool from my tool instance, and then just to simply what is this? What is this? To simply log the tool names after getting the tools. Query processing logic, then you get process query. Let's add a core functionality of the processing queries and handling tool calls. You know, I haven't written OP in quite some time now, and this feels weird. You know, writing a lot of procedural code in my Go, my Go journey, because I've been on a Go journey for maybe a year and a half now, a year, more than a year, and I've written lots of procedural code, which I love. I love writing procedural code. I was a little bit tired of OP with my Java and Spring Boot, so I did lots of procedural code for a lot of time, and I think my brain is really used to it now and sees this, it's really weird. Okay, so you define a process query thingy, which again gonna copy paste because we're not we are not really into we're not about to get deep into it. We're not interested in this quick start example. Just we want to just get an idea of what we can do here and how to structure the code. And so the core function to process queries and handling tool calls. So process query, you get a string. You get what is this? You create a list of messages, message param. Uh, in you include basically just user query. But where are these messages coming from? Are these from the SDK thingy? Let me check. Process query, you message param, cannot find name. Okay, I'm going to import message param from Anthropic beta message param. Okay, I'm guessing yes, it has to be this. Where else do you have defined this message thingy? Okay, process query. Okay, you get the okay. What is this? These are Anthropic the messages that create. What does this sends a structured list of input messages with text or image content, and the model will generate the next message in the conversation. Okay, so we're querying the model ourselves, which is weird. Okay, I never used Anthropic or nor Anthropic's SDK, so while reading this, it looks weird. Okay, so yeah, looks weird, but meh, just to getting used to it. Okay, so you get the response. Okay, you create a couple constants, and you for loop over the response content. If it's text, you push it into an array of strings called final text. If it's not text, but something called tool use, okay, you're gonna simply get the name, get the arguments, and tool call the tool. What? Okay, let me read it from my side. Okay, let me read it from my side. Okay, so if it's text, I'm gonna simply push it into my array of final text thing. If it's content type, if its content type value is tool use, which its type, I'm guessing it's a union type. Yes, it is a union type. Content, well, I don't know. If it's tool use, then you get the name of the tool. You get the arguments as an array of keys or as a map of keys where you have string mapped to an unknown thing or an undefined thing. Then you get this.mcp, which the this.mcp was. I'm gonna rename this because MCP SDK client. You well not now maybe Control O. Okay. 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 So after you get the name of the tool and the arguments, you call the actual tool with that name and that argument. This is weird. Okay, so there's like a duplication of state, let's call it, because you have the tools, which is like the tools on this class, and then you have the tools, which are the tools defined on for Anthropic's thing. Okay, but I'm trying to figure out here like where is this process query call? Okay, so basically you call the tool that needs to be called from the result, which it appears that you only can call like one tool at a time. Okay, no, okay, no, not really, because you're looping over your content, so each response content can have different tool, and you have multiple response contents. Okay, okay, so both you get the result of each tool call, and you push it into your tool results, and then to the final text, you then also push calling tool something with args something, and you push to your messages thingy, which was what is this? Where is messages? Okay, okay, yes, which is like an array of the messages from the user. Well, not necessarily from the user, but from the conversation. And then you push the user thingy, a user message with content as the result content the uh, of the of the LM. Then you get some response. Okay, then okay, then okay, so you get the response from the tool, and then you pass that conversation again or those messages again to the LLM, so it produces next response. Okay, makes sense. So then you create response and you okay, final text dot join. Okay, so the final process query returns a string, right? Okay, it returns a string. Okay, interactive chat interface. I'm guessing it's a TUI-like interface. So you get a sync chat loop. I'm still surprised of how unfamiliar I feel with this type of programming. With OOP. With me as which I used to be like a big on OOP. Now feeling unfamiliarized with what is this? with OP. No, I'm familiar, but it feels like weird. Like like why am I not seeing like structs and things all over the place and function calling and feels weird. Okay, so I don't know where this read line thing comes from. Um, Maybe if I check this uh, Python client, package.json, index.ts, read line promises. Okay, so the chat loop basically create interface input process. Okay, so this I need to dive deep into this read line thingy, the read line promises. It's an experimental. Okay, it makes sense. It's an experimental package, so it makes sense why I didn't know about it. But I guess it looks like a good abstraction for developing simple CLI or shell-based UIs, I guess. MCP client started. Type your queries or for quit, or type your queries or quit to exit while true. Uh, what is this? Uh, oh, okay. Okay, so this is basically like the game loop of the thing. Uh, okay. Okay, so while true, nothing. If nothing, then. Okay. And finally, rl.close. So you're always gonna read line close, and then you have like a cleanup function where I don't see where it's called. And again, the cleanup function looks like something from I don't know where. Finally, we'll add a main function logic, which I think it's also not. It's like outside. Okay, okay. So okay. So the main function basically checks that we have plus 3 or less than 3 arguments. If not, you need to pass. Okay, so yeah, we need to pass a server script. Okay, MCP client, new MCP client, try. You connect to a server with argument 2, and then you chat loop, and then you basically you call, well, you finally call MCP cleanup. But what I don't see here is that you never close like the connection to the MCP server, never. So that's weird because in the cleanup I would close this thing, connect to server, unless I don't know, connect to server, something, transport, okay, MCP.connect. Okay, so you connect to the actual server using the MCP variable, which is the actual MCP SDK client. So I'm guessing that when you call like the cleanup and you close this function, you also close whatever other server connections it has. Okay, running the client. Okay, now this should be easy now. Quick start. Okay, so looks looks clean. Now I could in theory just come and npm run build. That would run an npm run dev, and I would have to pass. Okay, okay. What I can do here is that I do understand how it works. And your client gets a list of available tools from the server. Your query is sent to Claude. Claude is a which tool. The client executes any request, something, something, something. But I want to try this, and to try this, I think I'm gonna leverage. Well, I could leverage this already written TypeScript server, but eh, I don't know if this uses some kind of API key. It looks that it doesn't. Or if I can get myself an API key somewhere, would be nice. Like for example, right now I just have this simple thingy. But what if I wanna bring any like MCP clients to my computer? Like what if I wanna bring like MCP clients but MCP servers? Like then I will have to implement some logic on my server thingy. Uh, okay, so we have to implement some logic on my client to manage, like to orchestrate servers, because we don't want end users of MINA like actually doing like the whole configuration of servers. I want it to be like an abstraction. So uh, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so let me try and you know what I'm gonna do? And what I'm gonna do is that uh, I want to try this out because I just want to check it and see with my own eyes that this works. I'm gonna open a new panel here, and I'm going to literally copy paste, not copy paste, but I'm gonna clone this. I'm gonna clone this repo on these resources and use I'm gonna use the weather TypeScript server because I really want to try this. Git clone. So I clone this. Uh, so then I can go to quick start resources, cd quick start resources, and I can go to weather server TypeScript, and I can simply npm install. I install everything I need to do, then npm run build. I can run a build, right? And then in theory a node build index.js. Okay, what I'm gonna do is here's the MCP run dev, and then I'm gonna go for the quick start thing, and then I'm going to go cd into weather server TypeScript. I'm going to access build, and then I'm going to access this. Okay, so in theory now, I could ask for uh, hello. Okay, didn't work. I could go for get query or get alerts for New York. It it exit it exited. Okay. Uh, Punicode module is deprecated. Please use user alternative instead. I don't know why I'm exiting here. This shouldn't happen. Why is this exiting? So I'm getting the query. If message to lowercase equals the quit, then break. If not, then await this process of query and log it and log my response. You know, I'm just gonna try to figure out how and why is this happening. 10 minutes. If I don't figure it in 10 minutes, it won't matter anyways because I'll close stream when I get some sleep. But before I do, I am really curious about why isn't this working? Okay, so let me console.log got response here. Maybe I'm not maybe I am not, handling in some, some exception. So I'm going to okay. Okay, so I'm going to partition this panel into two. I'm going to npm run build since I just made some changes, and then I should npm okay, and hello. Okay, so there's an issue here because I'm not getting to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this in a try catch, and I'm going to log the error, console.log error. What is the type of this error? It's an unknown type, so I'm going to simply log this to the error thingy, to standard error, just to check. That's why I don't like TypeScript. Okay, so what was I gonna say? I might be, um, I don't even know what I was gonna say. Anyways, I have my mind in two different places right now, and I really want to get. Okay, so I build it, then I run it, then I query something like hello. Okay, and I get the error. Okay, so I get the error. But request for 100, your credit balance is too low. I can't use this. Okay, and I won't use this. Okay, so next steps. Basically, I don't have credits to use Claude. So what we're gonna do, guys, is tomorrow probably we're gonna figure out how to implement the same quick start, but using our own local model, because we won't be given any money to Anthropic. Although I'm very happy they created MCP protocol, great protocol. As far as I can see it, my solution to whatever agentic AI has in the future, but won't be giving them money for credits because it's I don't know. I would if I have an open source solution, why would I buy some credits? So for tomorrow, again, and the credits they're expensive. How much is like a couple hundred credits on billing by credits? $5 for how many credits and how much is a credit? Because again, thing that I was talking about a couple days ago or a couple streams ago was, you can't really measure like most credits because like or billing on these LLM things, but because most of the times they bill you based upon tokens, and token usage can be unpredictable. most of the times. Not unpredictable, but uncontrollable. You can't really control, although you can make some predictions on how many tokens you're gonna be using. But again, that's a task for tomorrow. We'll see how to set up this quick start tutorial with an open source LLM model instead of whatever these guys want us to pay for. But yeah, um, interesting uh, thing. I remembered why I like Go and why I like error handling Go because I just came across, a typical error of not handling errors explicitly because they are not explicitly needed to be handled with the try catch like method on TypeScript. So yeah, just gonna be building this model or this thing with first beta thing or this first draft with TypeScript because of ease and speed of development. But once we determine that we are going to be building it this way, I'm going to switch to something that to some language, probably Rust or Swift, that let us, handle errors more explicitly, or even SIG, if there was a SIG implementation for MCP, that would be great, or a Go implementation. But that's what we have, and that's it, Yeah, that's it. Nothing that we can do except uh, build stuff by ourselves and not rely on, uh, you know, and not rely on these things that are trying to build us by just use some tokens. But yeah, that's all for today. I'm gonna get some sleep now. It's a little bit it's 9:30 almost. It's a little bit late, so yeah. Uh, Remember, tomorrow, live coding this quick start guide, but with a local LM just to figure out if that's a viable thing. Because I think it is, but maybe I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, adios.